It's been more than a decade since Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes first landed, and the debate around it still hasn't cooled. Was it an overpriced demo, or a stealth masterpiece that quietly outshone the full game that followed? Today, we're digging into the secrets, the speculation, and the surprising ways this so-called prologue continues to shape stealth gaming. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe if you love deep dive retrospectives, and tell us in the comments, what was your first reaction when you played Ground Zeroes back in 2014? The launch that sparked a firestorm. When Ground Zeroes released in March 2014, it didn't arrive like a normal Metal Gear game. Instead of a sprawling 30-hour epic, players found a 2-hour main story sold at full retail price in some regions and $30 in others. Fans and critics were split. Some felt burned, calling it an expensive teaser. Others were simply thrilled to have anything new from Hideo Kojima after years of waiting. Kojima later revealed he released it early to keep the franchise alive during the Phantom Pain's long development cycle. In hindsight, that decision might have saved the series from disappearing into a longer hiatus. But at the time, the backlash was fierce and immediate. And yet, here's the twist. That lean runtime may be exactly why people still talk about it. Its short, focused design distilled what makes Metal Gear special into a concentrated dose that lingers even today. A tech showcase ahead of its time. Ground Zeroes wasn't just a teaser, it was the first real showcase for the Fox Engine, Konami's in-house technology. Back in 2014, the dynamic lighting, the real-time weather, and the shockingly smart AI felt next generation. Even now, with modern hardware everywhere, the Fox Engine holds up. Character models carry an almost film-like texture. Guard patrols feel uncannily natural. Many industry insiders still whisper that the engine was underused and that internal friction at Konami led to it being quietly shelved after MGS-V. Imagine if the Fox Engine had powered more titles, stealth games, action games, even sports. We got only a glimpse of what it could do, and that alone gives Ground Zeroes an almost mythic quality. The level design that stole the show. For all the technical wizardry, it's the level design that keeps fans coming back. Camp Omega is small by open-world standards, just a single military base on a storm-lashed Cuban coastline. But it strikes a perfect balance. You're free to roam, scout, and improvise like in an open world. Yet the map is laced with tightly crafted interiors, barracks, control towers, cell blocks that demand careful infiltration. When the Phantom Pain finally arrived a year later, its vast Afghan and African landscapes were breathtaking, but many players missed the focused tension of Ground Zeroes. Phantom Pain's open spaces sometimes felt empty, whereas Camp Omega always kept you on edge. Could this single map be the most perfectly tuned stealth playground in the entire series? Many veteran players argue exactly that. Story seeds and hidden lore. For a game marketed as a prologue, Ground Zeroes hides story beats that reshape the saga. Optional cassette tapes reveal details that end up critical in the Phantom Pain. Political betrayals, secret experiments, and the tragic fate of key characters. Die-hard fans still debate whether some tapes hint at cut content or abandoned subplots. Was Kojima planting seeds for a broader narrative that Konami never allowed to bloom? We may never know, but that mystery fuels endless forum threads even now. Replayability and emergent gameplay. Despite its short main story, Ground Zeroes rewards players who linger. Side ops missions shift the time of day, change enemy patrols, and introduce unique objectives. Each run invites experimentation. Sneak through in total darkness or daylight where every shadow counts. The enemy AI reacts dynamically. Spotlights swing, patrols tighten, radios crackle with warnings. This emergent design makes every infiltration feel new. You can snipe guards from afar, lure them into traps, or go full non-lethal ghost. Even today, players discover clever new infiltration routes or surprising AI quirks, And just when you think you've seen everything, there's more. The speedrunning scene and community legacy. That replayability gave birth to a speedrunning scene that's still alive in 2025. Players shave seconds off records using glitches, perfect timing, and deep knowledge of guard behaviors. The Fox Engine's quirks, never intended for competition, ended up enabling legendary exploits. Some runs look like controlled chaos. Guards barely notice as players slip through like shadows. Speedrunners have kept the game in the public eye long after its initial controversy faded, proving that a well-designed stealth sandbox never really grows old. Looking back from 2025, time has a way of softening first impressions. Today, Ground Zeroes is less an overpriced demo and more a stealth classic. Critics who once called it thin now praise its focus and polish. Rumors continue to swirl that Konami is exploring a remaster, perhaps even a new project inspired by the Fox Engine's philosophy. While nothing is confirmed, fans speculate that any future Metal Gear revival will look closely at what made Camp Omega so effective. If those whispers prove true, Ground Zeroes could become the blueprint for the franchise's next chapter. A decade later, Metal Gear Solid 5: Ground Zeroes stands as more than a prologue. It's a proof of concept that, in some ways, eclipsed the full game that followed. Tight level design, a still impressive engine, and emergent gameplay combined to create a stealth experience that feels timeless. What about you? Did Ground Zeroes deserve the criticism, or was it secretly ahead of its time? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dive retrospectives. Your support helps us keep exploring the hidden gems of gaming history, and there are plenty more stories waiting to be uncovered.